I know what you want to hear. It's Major League Baseball time. I'm wearing my Cubs jersey. We're down 2-1. We're on the brink of getting kicked out, or maybe we're going to go on and win the fifth game. Who knows? I mean, I'm not here to bring you great news about Major League Baseball. I'm here to talk about POS. But with POS, just like Major League Baseball, it all starts with doing the little things right. Doing the little things. You make sure you have your back control. You make sure you field the ball cleanly. You make sure you make that transition from glove to hand to throw, to get over to first base, to make that out, to make sure you do the little things right. And when it comes to point of sale, it's about doing the little things right. Because at the end, it's the little things that make it so you can hit that home run and you can hear that back, gone. And that's what we're looking for in POS sales, because we want to see that POS sold. And it all starts with the basic foundation of the simplest things. And in POS, that's the demo. And today on POS Censored, we're going to talk with Mr. Matt Proctor about how you, PayProTec Nation, can make the best use of our demos of all of our POS systems and make sure they're winners. But at the end of the day, Matt, I have to start out by saying your team is no longer in the playoffs, but at least you made the playoffs, and we may be out soon too. I don't know. We're still cheering here, the Cubs. But how are you? And I do appreciate the PayProTec orange and the vintage wear. I feel like you should do a little shimmy down the runway as you're showing 1990s work. Yeah. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
How are you, Mr. Proctor?
My throwback shirt here from a decade ago. Okay? My Hoskins orange PayProTec shirt I just got made fun of in another medium for, but I don't care. I love it. Love the color. I'm doing great, buddy. And yes, my team is out of the playoffs, and that's okay. I'm happy we made it. Let's go Cubbies. That was a great game last night. But guys, I'm excited to talk today about how we can increase, their basically our close percentage. We talk about all the time in the point of sale office, and like Nate said, it is a lot of little things we're going to discuss today where you're going to get to know these steps and how to make this better, how to customize these demos specific for your merchant, which is going to greatly increase your close percentage. Okay, some of our best agents, by the time they put that lead in, we're a 70 to 80% close rate. That's amazing. And that's because they've done their due diligence. They've worked with myself and my team. They understand what they're doing. They're present on the demos, and their customers respect that. And we already have it sold by the time we're done with that demo. So great to be here, Nate. It's going to be an awesome day.
It is. So let's start with the very basics. Each demo is not the same when it comes to how the demos are run in the POS. So let's just start with that. I told you I was going to do it to a different question, but I want to start for starting with foundations. It's understanding what are the differentiations when you're working with different POS systems, and maybe there's some things that are similar of hospitality systems versus retail systems. How do our different multiple systems differ when they're setting up their POS demos and being able to present that to the merchant?
Great question. So the key here, guys, is you working directly with your POS rep, okay? The consultation is a must, guys. That really is a must. We don't want to sell the wrong system or try and put a square peg in a round hole. You guys hear me say that all the time. So the only way we're going to know how to get on the proper demo, whether it's Mint, Paradise, Hot Sauce, Quick, whatever, we have to understand what their wants and needs are. And there's going to be things that you might not know to ask, and that's okay. That's where we want you to work directly with your point of sale partner so we can find out if, even though they don't want online ordering, well, now they want it in the future. Now they want to do third-party delivery they've never done before. Maybe they want QR codes now, and that wasn't brought up before. They want a kiosk. They want order pay at the table. These are all discussions that we're having, okay? It's a pizzeria. We need to know, do they want caller ID? Things like that. So getting our team involved early, having these consultations, even if you've already vetted it out and chatted with them, awesome. We still want to confirm that, yes, we are looking at the right software. Then we're scheduling one demo. I want to make that clear, guys. We're not trying to show them 2 or 3 systems. That's a waste of their time, your time, and our time. Okay, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty and know which of our software is going to be the best. Okay. And other than that, it is a waste of time. And we do have some agents, unfortunately, that want to show 2 or 3 options. They can watch videos. We don't have time with the hundreds of leads we get coming in to do multiple demos. So let's set it up right, and that is by the consultation, guys. That's the beginning.
All right. So we start with the consultation, and then we're looking to, we're working with the POS pros to set up that demo in time. But what are the things that a partner who is the most successful at utilizing demos does with their merchant when setting up that demo and making sure that merchant, after they've already done all the consultation, is ready to experience and be sold on that demo?
Awesome question. And really, guys, it's follow up. Our best agents who sell over and over through our office over the last 7, 8 years, they're on site with the merchant for the demo. They let them know, hey, I'm going to be here Friday. I'll get here about 1. We'll start at 1:30 and get Matt and his team involved. I'll bring my computer. That way, you don't have to worry about any connection issues or you not being able to log in. I'll log in with my computer. I'll be sitting right here next to you. That's first and foremost. All of our most popular point of sale, reps and agents and partners out there, that's what they do. Okay. If for some reason they can't do that and the owner says, hey, I'm sorry, I got to join from my house that day. Awesome. I'll still be on. Make sure you let them know. I'll still be on the demo and I'll text you that morning. I'll confirm. All right. I'll make sure that morning nothing's come up and I'll confirm with you maybe an hour before the demo to make sure you're on. Okay. So making sure it's not a no-show, guys. That's the biggest thing that hurts us in point of sale is we go through all this time and energy to schedule a demo and they don't show up. Okay. So staying engaged. Now remember, guys, you don't have to do this. We're talking today about how to be more successful. We do have some agents that are very busy. They can't be on a demo. Okay. But then we have a risk then of no shows, of things like that, of my team not being able to get a hold of the merchant. So this is all about today, how to be more successful. And that's being present. And that's also scheduling reminders. Okay. My team does that too. Depending on who you work with, they're going to send out texts and emails. Hey, reminder, this is the day of our demo. And we want to customize that demo for them. So that's another big thing, Nate. Depending on what system, actually, it doesn't depend on what system. My team is going to send to that software, whether it's Quick, Mint, whoever's presenting, a full list of what we need to go through and what we don't need to go through. Okay? We don't want to waste their time. So if they're definitely not doing online ordering, we let them know. Skip past that. Don't go through all this online ordering stuff.
All right, so Matt, a little more on the structure of most of our demos. For those partners who have never done this before, are they done on Zoom? Are they done on, and you're saying it's great for our partners to show up. They bring their laptop. They're already making sure they're already able to log in. What are some of those key things just to make sure it goes smoothly? Because I remember when we used to have, offices that are right down the hall from each other and people were trying to do the demos and you were at that time doing all the demos, and how many times person can't get logged in, person can't click the link. That's improved, a good thing of COVID, improved a lot, but still, what are the little things they can make sure by showing up with their computer, making sure they have the links already, they've already tested the link to work? What are those little things that make sure that there's no oh, we didn't get on the demo today because we couldn't log on? How can they make sure they are actually on the time they're assigned?
That's a good question, Nate. So we do a lot through Google Meetings, which that's easy. Zoom is definitely the other one. And so those are our two main things. So making sure, guys, you have Zoom on your computer or your iPad, your Android tablet, whatever it might be. That makes it easier for the merchant. Letting them know ahead of time, because you guys are going to see that link. You're going to have the link sent out. So you can see exactly what it's going to be. Right? Let them know. Make sure you have Zoom on your computer that you can easily download this. Okay? Make sure you can get on the internet, at a reasonable time. That's why I said showing up early is so critical. Making sure you can log in to the internet and make sure your connection's safe. And while you were just talking there, Nate, I was thinking through my head of probably the top 15 to 20 reps that we have out there that we invite to our events. And I can't think of a single one of them that is not there on site for every single day. And I keep going through my head trying to think of one. Like, think of one that has sold so many point of sale with, and maybe there's a time they weren't there. And it's hard, man. I can't do it. So, I mean, we're talking about the most important thing here, guys, is that if you want to sell point of sale, how important this is to be on site, have Zoom ready, have your calendar pulled up, okay? Have the internet pulled up. If you realize the internet's spotty or something's wrong, get your hotspot going on your phone. Okay? If it's a new build out and they don't have the internet run yet, you better know that and be ready for that. Okay? Or meet them somewhere else.
Let me throw an idea out there for you, Matt, and maybe we'll see if we agree on this. But because I don't watch all of our, I've sat through one of each, but you see all these people logging in. I would think that the partners who are most successful treat that demo as a meeting they're leading and introducing their merchant to the POS person, whoever's taking from Quick or whatever, if the POS pro that's online with them, and they're taking the ownership of the meeting, bringing their partner there. Even if they can't be in person, they're the one who makes sure they can log in. But best case scenario, they're in person. If you're not in location sales, or sometimes it's not probably worth an 800-mile drive or flight to do it. But those partners who take more ownership are those ones that are more successful and make this, presenting, hey, I partner with this POS. This is our POS pro, and let me introduce you to my merchant. That when they take more ownership, they're going to be more successful. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%. And my team is supposed to do that as well. All right. So, and you guys better let me know if that doesn't happen. But my team, no matter what, is supposed to start the conversation as the partner of you. Okay. As a tandem team. Okay. This is myself, an agent. You're there with Mr. and Mrs. Owner. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. My team then introduces the whoever's presenting. Angelo from Mint, Rain from Quick, Gavin from Corona. We make the introductions. We talk about the backstory. Okay, we go through exactly, okay, Gavin, here's what we're working on. Here's what their existing software is. So even though Caitlin and Carrie and Tim and Alex have already sent over this information, I want them to reinforce it and discuss it at the beginning, make all these introductions. If the camera's on, my team has to turn the camera on, okay? Because that's just disrespectful. If the owner has their camera on, we don't have our camera on, okay? So if they have a camera on, I make my team put it on. We take ownership with, hey, my friend Ben, Ben's here. Ben and I have worked together for years. Nice to meet you guys. Here's the people that are going to demo us today. And so, yeah, my team has to take ownership to help you as the agent. So even if you're not used to that, that's okay. That's what my team's here to work with you on, right? And to be able to make those introductions, to make a smoother transition. That way the customer knows they're just here to show us the software. Okay? We're the ones that are going to partner with you, and we're going to utilize them as well. They're great, whatever point of sale company is, but we're here to make sure this fits your needs perfectly. Okay? Obviously, we're going to save money, guys. That's already a no-brainer. It's let's make sure this software can help grow their business, and we take ownership of it.
Love it. All right. And I like it when we get live questions. David asked us here, is the meeting link to available, I think, ahead of time? Will it work before the scheduled time? And I think in most cases, you can at least test a Zoom link and you won't be accepted into a meeting.
Right, it won't be accepted
but you'll be able to test to make sure the link all works and everything goes through. And even better yet, just go on your free Zoom account or your free Google Meet account, if you know which are going to use it, you can test it yourself and set up your own meeting, make sure make sure the sound is working. One of the things you want to make sure is you're in a quiet place, especially in busy restaurants and all that. You're going to have, if you're going into a busy restaurant, hopefully you schedule a time that's maybe their downtime, but they may have a jukebox playing, or they have, touch tunes or whatever else is going on in that place. You need to find a quiet place or provide headsets or make sure that you can have a distractionless environment. Because especially if you can pull that merchant away, if they're the manager or the owner of a restaurant and they have 7 staff and anything you can do to facilitate their focus, but then you also want to facilitate the capability of maximizing their time, and you get to the point. How important is it, and how do you make sure that they're getting to the features that they need to look at the fastest and doing it in the most? How do you make it go faster? Because every merchant wants to get back to their job and their day job and get through. How do you make sure you maximize their time and get to the stuff that they need to demo and maximize those time?
And that's a consultation again. Yeah. I mean, 100%, Nate. I'm glad you brought that up. It's absolutely what do we need to look at. For example, if I'm talking to a restaurateur, they've had micros, then they switched to Aloha, then maybe they had Easy Dine for a while, then they decided to try a cloud system, so they went with Lavu, and now they're on Toast. Do you think they know what they're doing? Do you think they know point of sale? Absolutely. So when we're showing them Quick, which is our best system to replace Toast, I don't want my lovely ladies from Quick, I love them to death, same with Zach and all the demo people over there. I don't want them wasting 10 to 15 minutes at demo going through their slide deck. Now, that's how they normally present. They go through their slide deck, pictures, walk through hardware and all this. Then they stop, ask any questions, and we move into looking at the software. So I'm going to let them know right away. My team will too. hey, we don't need to go through a slide deck. I can go through with that on the side if they want to see pictures or whatever. We're going to jump right into the demo so we can ring things up, split check, show them the modifiers because they know that software so well. Okay, so that's what we mean by customizing these demos, is making sure what's important to them. Maybe hardware is important. They want it to be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, great. The first thing we want to show is pictures. Let's make sure they like what the how the hell it looks, guys. Okay? If they're using Clover and they've been using it for years, well, then we want to look at a system like Quick's Duo screen that's all white, just like Clover, interactive customer display, looks all sexy. That's what we want to show them. Okay? And focus on that first, then go into it. Okay? So yes, Nate, it's so important to know what they're looking for. Again, to let our presenters know. And let's be honest, guys, I'll say this to everyone on here. Some of our presenters, they're not salespeople. Okay? They're just programmers. They're just nice people that might know the software. But there might be some ums, there might be some nervousness. That's where I really push my team to jump in. Okay? That's where I jump in when I'm on a demo. I want to smooth it out. Okay? If I saw they went too fast through something, and feel free to do this too, guys, as agents. Say, hey, can I stop you there? Can we go back through that again? Can we ring up that order again and show us where you were clicking there? And believe it or not, that helps the demo presenter too. Maybe they didn't know they were going too fast. So you guys as partners, feel free to jump in there and help kind of control and facilitate the demo. We want it to be as smooth as possible.
I'm sure there's questions I've asked, but one of the things, or I've missed, but one of the things I was thinking about when bringing up this idea in my head was dealing and helping facilitate after the demo. What things do you do immediately after the demo? How much time do you give the merchant to think about it? How do you follow up with what are some of the follow-up ways that make these partners most successful at actually closing these deals? Because we try to pitch this, hey, we want you to close more than 50% of these deals. We think that if you're doing this system well, you are going to close 70, 80%. We're not looking for you just to go through the yellow pages and start pulling out businesses that might need POS and putting them as leads. We want you to follow through the system, do the consultation, and what can they do afterwards to make this the most successful and get that close?
You want to know my secret sauce, Nate? You want to know how my close percentage was so high?
This is what I want to know. I want to know Matt's secret sauce. And
you go for the close. And my team doesn't always do this, and it's something I've been trying to preach to them for a long time. I walk them through the close. I literally walk them through the next step. I confirm all the hardware. Okay, we're 2 stations, took a couple handhelds. Do you like that handheld or you want this one? Okay, great. Kitchen printers, you got these. Let's get that statement over to David. Our team, let's make sure we're going to run these numbers for you, but I know you're doing great volume. Once we go through this, either myself or the partner, we're going to present this to you. Make sure everything looks good. We want to help you with this hardware. Then Morgan from my team is going to send out a DocuSign. So you'll receive that DocuSign, review it all again. We want to make sure you know exactly what it is, okay? The low upfront payment, because once again, we want to help you, okay? And we're walking through that with you. Then you'll also get welcome email when it's time to move forward. You'll have the quick team reaching out to you or whoever it might be. So I'm walking them through the exact next steps without just saying, buy it or I want you to buy it. I've already got their head going of what we're going to do now. Okay. Oh, it's hot sauce. Great. Well, hopefully you guys already know our promotions of hot sauce. You want 2 stations and a kitchen printer? You're doing cash discount? Awesome. I can tell you right now, Joe, Susie, whoever, it's going to be nothing up front. Okay. Your monthly is just going to be for the licenses and the support from hot sauce. There's going to be a warranty for life on the hardware. We're going to go ahead and send you over that DocuSign this afternoon. Once you get that completed, then we're going to need a copy of your menu. So you see what I'm saying? I'm just literally telling them everything we need to move forward with Quick. I'm going to need a copy of the menu. It can be just a picture, and I'm going to need a voided check. Okay, that way the agent's not scrambling later. A week doesn't go by before where's this, where's this? I'm telling them right there at the end of the demo without even going through numbers. Okay, because I'm going to go through numbers with David later or wherever the partner is. Okay, and we're going to run the numbers and make sure we can take care of them and get it approved by me. So that's what I started doing years ago, Nate, and that's why I have yet to have any of my records broken by my team. My team's amazing, and they've gotten close before. But yeah, that's why I used to average almost 30 new merchants boarded a month just on point of sale software. And that's not easy to do when you only have 20 business days in a month. So, and somebody got close last year. I think 43 in 1 month was my record. And I think Caitlin and Alex both have been close once. I'm holding on barely. They're going to pass me eventually. I know.
There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, the thing we want you to do is close. And so if you're
Mhm.
set up to have the best success by making sure you go consultation, demo, and then close, then do that and follow through the steps, think through the process. And just like anything in life, the more you do it, the better you're going to get, because it's not the exact same formula for everyone, and everybody has a little bit of their own personality, and we want you to be successful, be you. And so as you learn things, man, I like it this way. I think if we would start with this as here's the 5 features, and you start giving more, hey, I want you to lead with this feature because that's when they're going to be most alert, or however that may be, you're going to become the product expert over time. The more repetitions, not reputation, and you're good with good reputation, but with more repetitions of the process,
Yes.
you're going to get really, really good. And I think that's probably, it's not only that they show up every time, it's that our partners that showed up and built the reputation and have gotten that success, they start feeling success, and success begets success. You know, you just you just start feeling good about it, right, Matt? Yeah.
Referrals too, just
Yeah.
referral after referral. Restaurant owners all know each other, guys. They
Yep.
just do.
Well, and business owners do too. I mean, I was just talking to one of our partners that, they have a sub partner they just set up, and they owned one vape shop. Now that one vape shop is signed up, and that particular owner of that vape shop now is a sub partner and has multiple other, I think up to 8 other vape shops. I mean, owners know each other, and they own other businesses, and they start other businesses. And so, hey, that's a whole nother conversation, but it starts with, if they have a good experience on your demo, they'll do it. And also, I think sometimes, even if they have if they're looking at other systems and they have a good experience on that demo and how they feel and the follow-up, and they may even choose a different one and come back because they're like, man, I chose wrong. I chose on price and I should have chose, or whatever it was. And
Right. Or
never,
this person
yeah,
was pushy, so I just made the decision,
yeah.
and then it's wrong.
But how you leave them, and make sure the professionalism you use all the way through that demo. And then, Matt, also, when they grow out of that system, or something happens and you have to switch them to another system, they already know what that process looks like, because they trust this. We say, well, it sounds like a good Philadelphia 76ers thing. Trust the process. Hey, it's going to get you. It's going to get you there. But this process is proven. It's known to work. It's working today. It worked yesterday. It will work tomorrow. Trust the process. Do the demo. Matt, what have I missed? What should I have asked you about the demo that our
No,
partners need
that
to know
last
about?
thing was perfect, Nate. If for some reason it does not close, that's fine, guys. Leave it on good terms, obviously, because you're going to be revisiting them. I always let people know. I said that's totally fine. Is it okay if we stay in contact? Because maybe next year I'll be able to help you with something. Maybe I'll have a different software in a year or two. The answer is always yes. And you know what? I can't tell you how many times that we get them signed up 6 months down the road, a year down the road. There was one that we just got to the finish line finally. We're on year 3. Okay, so we're on year 3 of talking to this merchant. We demoed at least 2 or 3 of our softwares, and they're like, you know what? We just like you guys. Like we're tired of Clover support. We're tired of whatever. We've looked at some of your softwares. Which one's best? We just want to go with you guys. And so keep that in mind, guys. Yes, it might not close, right then, but that's okay. Doesn't mean it's not going to close later. Okay? Be that point of sale expert. Be their consultant. Hey, remember, guys, you're not just a sales partner. You're a consultant with all these softwares at your disposal and a whole point of sale department. Ooh, we got
Love it.
another question.
Yeah. Wow. And this is from Gazwan, because I know, and one, if you did not watch last week's episode, it ended up being, here, I'll put both screens on and let me bring that back up. It ended up being, Matt was trying to join, wasn't able to. It is a great episode. In fact, those who may be watching right now, you got a text telling you to watch this episode and Gazwan's episode, which is, the text is about to go out about 3:00 this afternoon. And you're watching this one, go and watch that Gazwan episode. It's amazing. It's a really good story. And he says, Restaurant Talk podcast, his podcast, how do you create the sense of urgency to get them to sign up ASAP if our promos for the POS systems are always out? Because, hey, the FOMO we always use, this is going away. And sometimes we do have things that are going away so you can have that urgency.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our promos are hey, it's all the time.
Not
It's true.
not and
So
that's not
yeah,
necessary. That's not necessarily always. So here's what I would say to that, Gaz, and that's a great question. We're coming up on the holidays, guys. We do this every year, and we go through the struggle at the end of the year of who can we get set up, even if they don't want to install till maybe January. We want to get that closed in December. And bottom line, guys, yes, we're a reseller of these different softwares. Yes, we can control discounts. I can't control their pricing though. And I can tell you almost every single year in Q1, their prices change. Our price right now, Quick, is ridiculous. I cannot promise that in Q1, Ming and Tom aren't going to have a meeting with me and say, we have to adjust this, this, and this. Our monthly price is going to change on this. Our hardware, now we don't have those 19-inch bundles on sale. They're going to increase. Okay, so that's what we can't change, guys. Those are the variables where Mint can change, hot sauce, Corona changed on us 2 years ago, and it always happens in Q1. So giving them that's that sense of urgency in Q4 that we always work towards is that this will be going away no matter what. And I just want to make sure you can take advantage of this because I don't want to come back to you and it's $4,000 more in January. Okay?
yep.
We can install in January. Let's just sign the paperwork now and get them up and going. So that's what I would say, guys. I mean, I know that's something we talk about every year, but there is no guarantee the promotions will be the same.
The other thing on some of the calculators that are available to us, even by our competitors, is they're often calculating, like Toast, our competitors, has a calculator. How much sales will you increase with their online ordering sales? I know Infi has a competition, a really good spreadsheet on how much you'll be able to increase sales by using their tablets and their kiosk systems. And
Yep.
being able to not only present, hey, not only will the pricing go up, the pricing will never be better than it is today. It may change. Sometimes you can create that FOMO and that urgency and that go, but sometimes you can say, look, we believe by it's going to take you 2 months to fully understand the system, get up and running, and then you're going to start making an extra amount of per day, and whatever that number is, it's online sales. Here you're going to be able to have one less person because you're going to put the kiosk up front, or you're going to have online ordering going through and all the third-party dashes. You're not going to have 5 tablets sitting over here, and whatever that is, you can start monetizing. If you can give that way and say, look, I really believe this system will make you an extra $5,000 a month. And be honest with those numbers, but in busy places,
Right.
maybe not. But you can create that urgency of saying, look, make the change today so you can get to the easy part. Because if you don't make the change, every time you make it, it just keeps going further down the road. And you are looking at the fear of missing out is the profit that you left behind you. And each day is some of that profit. So I think you can start thinking through those things. You have to make sure you start, because others have done those calculators, and just go. And in fact, you can use a third party systems, go to Google, whatever you want, and find those articles. I know they're out there where that monetize those things. They already do the calculators for you, and start putting those into your presentations and saying, look, you're going to make an
Mhm.
extra 12%. It's proven by this system. If you properly implement it, because you're going to do online ordering, you're going to do third party delivery, you're going to have loyalty programs that you've never had, you're going to make an extra 12%. When do you want to start making that? And every day you leave, you're missing out on X, whatever that is, of 12% of their, and you can find all those pieces, put those numbers together. You have to do a little work, but you can email me and I'll help you find those articles, because I read them all the time. I get pushed them in the advertising, and I like to use our opponents' stuff. If they want to send us their signs,
Yep.
I'm all for sign stealing. It's not illegal to
Well,
sign steal. It's illegal to, hide that you're doing it. But I mean, if somebody's just going to wave and say, hey, by the way, I'm going to throw up a high 97 mile per fastball right under your chin, don't swing. If you're going to tell me that sign, I'm going to do it. I'm good. I'm not
and that's
swinging.
our biggest selling point with
Yeah.
Quick, Nate. It's the marketing aspect. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 20 years ago when I was running restaurants, it just you rang people up. That's it. You rang people up, attract your employees, and had reports. But now telling them how they can grow their business with QR codes and with the reviews and with the kiosk and, like you said, third party delivery, online ordering. Yes, the numbers are great, but just saying, like you showed me a statement, you're doing 80 grand. We can get you to 100 grand, and as soon as this next quarter, by putting this in place that you don't have right now with your current software. Right? And that's that sense of urgency too. I see the potential of really what we're not doing right now. Okay. And what we can do if we put you in a system that can grow with you. And a lot of times they just don't think of it that way because they've had the same software forever. All right. And it might not be doing everything they want. Oh, hey, we can save you all this money by doing Quick Driver. And why don't you get rid of those contracts and push everyone over to your own online ordering and your own quick driver, and then you put 30% back in your pocket that you were paying DoorDash. Just those things that we have that open discussion. So yeah, I'm glad you brought those, Nate. These are all important things, guys. Thank you guys for that question. That was a good one. And by the way, sorry, Nate, one thing I
Yep.
thought about when you were talking. All of PPT Nation, you know this, okay? Right now you have a set amount of a credit or discount if they're doing dual pricing at a certain amount. The reason I'm not saying numbers because there are a lot of people around the country that watch this. What I need you to know right now is that flat amount, that 1,500, is higher than you're going to get anywhere else. Okay? I need everyone to be very clear on that. And that's another thing, that the ROI right now is very, very nice. From PPT Nation. If it changes on January to maybe it's only 1,000 now, maybe it's not 1,500. Keep in mind those things can change. Right now it is extremely generous. Okay, and so that's another reason why you want to push that sense of urgency, because Danny and I talked about changing that this last year. I guarantee you it'll come up again this next year. Okay, so you guys have all been with us for years. You've seen our approach to go up and down throughout the years. So that's another great thing for that sense of urgency. This is the best it's ever been right now.
Yep. And let's put it this way. In our current economic environment, our prices are not going down. And so we have not changed a lot of our prices, but the hardware prices are not going to go down. That I can guarantee you that. And very likely, whether you present it as tariffs or however you present it, there's going to be costs to these that are going forward. And so you can just count that there's no price tomorrow that's going to be cheaper than it is today. And that is an urgency of sales going forward. And it's not the whole topic. I want to get closed with the idea of, hey, the other thing is getting them. Sometimes it's getting them to the demo that actually did. And, that actually closes the deal. And what I want to talk about as we close this up are what are strategies that our partners are using? Because a lot of it, I don't have time to do 30-minute demo. I've heard it on sales. Just send me a video. And we have videos. All of our POS companies, you have videos they can send and things. But why is that demo so important? We've kind of talked about it, but another reason to say it. And then, but what are some ways that they can incentivize and encourage and, help the merchant say, man, I am going to, because it is hard to give 30 minutes or 45 minutes to a demo, or even longer if they're, you bring in, I've seen some of those demos, they can go pretty long sometimes, especially if the merchant is asking questions and pushing it. But, how do you incentivize the merchant to take that step? Because that you're going to have a high close rate if you can get them that demo.
I love when they say that, Nate. I say, give me 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. Give me 15 to 20 minutes to talk to your guy. In that time, I'm going to build rapport with them. We're going to be laughing. We're going to be telling jokes, talking about everything, because I'm going to partner with him. Right? Because this is also my system. They're going to be selling them. So I want to get to know that merchant more than it is showing them the software, because I can sell them just by talking through how the software is going to look. Right? But I want to get to know them personally. I want them to get to know me, just like they know you as the partner. That's going to make them feel much more comfortable moving forward with both of us. Okay? And I've been saying for years, I'm like, give me 15 to 30 minutes. If they're on a really tight time crunch, let's get on a camera. Let's talk. I need to know exactly what their pain points are. I want to know where they're from, just in that normal talking. Okay? That's that rapport that we establish immediately. Okay. So by the time we get done with that 30 minutes, I'm like, hey, I'm going to come down and see you next time in Tennessee or whatever it is. We'll get the paperwork together for you. Here's what's going to happen. Next steps. Okay. So it's just knowing that, okay, this is a long-term partnership we're about to make. We need to meet with this merchant. Even if it's not for very long, we need to feel comfortable that merchant X, Y, and Z knows what the heck they're doing. They know actually how to run a restaurant or how to run a business, or is this their first time ever? And we're trying to give them free hardware and they might close in 6 months. We'll know all that if we get a chance to talk to them. Hopefully that's not the case.
No, I like it. And I was just thinking, Matt, five meetings ago today, I was meeting with Ben from True North Payments, who's been on our shows in the past. And he was talking about, he has been working with Rain about possibly taking over some of the quick demos and doing him himself, because he has access to all the stuff. And what I liked about that was, it's not for most, we will always facilitate and help you do But when you get so much
Absolutely.
ownership that you're capable to do those demos for, and Ben and Greg are building a team of wonderful partners across the US that are working with True North Payments as they're building that team, and he can step in and be the face and be able to be the piece. It's just another, the more demos you do, you never know what that may be. Now, how many of our partners have ever taken over demos? Very few. I just,
We have,
uh,
yeah, we have
we've,
one, the sync office right now does the
yeah,
quick demos directly.
yeah. So, but for the most
But they
part,
still come to us for the
yeah,
paperwork. They submit the lead because they want our pricing because it's better
yeah.
than going too quick.
But all these things, as you learn the system and you learn demos, you're going to be the demo is the key. That is, and learn it, understand it, get better at it, do the reps, get more and more people through it, and you will ultimately see success. And if you give up after one person tells you no to a demo, or the first demo doesn't go well, let me tell you, you're missing out, because the opportunity is there. And keep following the process. Matt, what will you close us on?
Yes, I want to close on one thing, going back to that urgency, because I love that question, guys, as we go into Q4 here. Nate mentioned hardware, it's not going down. I've already spoken to 5 of our different point of sale partners, and they're all 5 holding on the best they can without increasing the pricing. And we thank them for that they're doing their best to keep it where it is right now. And we hope that come Q1 of next year, it's not going to go up. But like Nate said, it's not going to go down. So now's the time, guys, from a pricing standpoint, from a hardware standpoint, let's be more active. Let's get out there. Let's get more consultations, more demos. Hey, it's that simple. Utilize our team, please. Please utilize our team. Make sure we get involved, and we will get more close with you.
Yep.
So thank you, Nate.
Perfect. Well, we have a lot to go. Next week will be a special episode. It should be right around 1:30. We'll sign Eastern time. We may have to judge it. We're going to figure it, but Matt and I are going to be boots on the ground in Houston, Texas, getting ready to party on
Uh,
Thursday night at the 10th anniversary celebration by Quick POS. So we're going to do a little live show from Quick POS next week. So look for that. Matt and I will be in the same room together. We're not totally sure how we're going to make all this work, but we're going to make it work.
yeah, we'll figure
We'll
it
make
out.
it figure it out. We'll
I'm
figure it
gonna
out.
see if Tom ever ordered shirts large enough for us because we're not little small Asian women, and so we might have a quick shirt on or something. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll
Promote
see.
them.
It's got to get to the at least the extra large, and it's got to be on the good side of the extra large. I'd prefer a double X. So we'll see if we get
Right,
there.
right. I don't know if anyone in that building wears a double X.
I
Where
know.
you and I would rather wear that.
Yes. So, on behalf of Matt Proctor and the POS Pros team, I'm Nate Manahan. This has been another episode of POS Uncensored. Go do your demos. Go get more people in demos. Go use POS Pros. Go to POSlead.com and see us next week as we talk quick and celebrate their 10 years of incredible growth and, well, just serving our partners and their merchants really, really well. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Hey guys.